Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted us to consider what the effect of the Supreme Court reversal of Roe v. Wade, is going to have on gun rights. Right now, obviously that decision, um, that's got on the surface, it's got nothing to do with gun rights, and it didn't make abortions illegal. All it said is that it sent it back to the states. Okay, the states have to figure out on their own, if it's going to be legal, illegal, to what extent. And in this video, I really don't want to get into the morality, and that kind of stuff. Maybe we'll do that in another video if I see you guys are interested in the comments. But in this video, I specifically want to talk about how it is going to impact gun rights, and it's going to have a significant impact because, for example, the very day that that decision came out, reversing Roe v. Wade, a lot of states had trigger laws in place where abortions immediately became illegal, and a lot of the clinics started shutting down. And what's happening is a lot of the people that live in those states are looking to move out, okay? And presumably they're going to move into places like New York, California, Illinois, Washington, D.C. So they're going to go to places where they expect that it's not going to be made illegal, okay? So this is really important if you live in a purplish state, right, where you need a way to get rid of the anti-gunners. This will help do that. This will help get some of the anti-gunners out of your state. Now, Pennsylvania, where I'm at, is kind of a purplish state. It's the legislation is usually dominated by conservatives. However, the governorship is usually controlled by Democrats. Right now, we got a Democrat governor, and that's why, Pennsylvania is a very, the laws on the books in Pennsylvania are pro-gun. However, the governor would, any anti-gun laws that come through the legislation, he will sign. Like, the governor is 100% anti-gun rights. Attorney General, right, State Attorney General, very anti-gun rights. And if you get caught up, let's say, in a messy situation and they have the opportunity to prosecute you, they will. So even though the abortions are, as far as I know, are legal in Pennsylvania and are probably going to remain legal while we have a Democrat governor, I've got Mastriano running for governor, and he has said that he will basically sign a bill to outlaw it if it gets to his desk. Okay, and again, not discussing the morality and stuff like that in this video. The benefit, the gun rights benefit of that to me, right, is if such a bill, if he becomes governor, a bill like this gets to his desk, he signs it, okay, a lot of the anti-gunners in this state, in Pennsylvania, are going to move out, okay? So Pennsylvania is going to become a more pro-gun rights state. So that's really, really, really important to me. So I just want to make you guys aware of this benefit, okay? And I've got one gun friend in particular that's a little split on this issue, okay? He lives in New York and he is 100% pro-gun rights, but he's also, I guess, pro-abortion rights. So, I really don't have a good way to talk about. In fact, this is not a subject I really even feel that comfortable talking about, because I got small kids. Okay, I got small kids, and before I got married, before I had kids, I kind of felt a little differently about it, and not that I was ever like a really pro-abortion guy, but it was something that I could kind of like not look at, not think about, not care about. But now that I got small kids, it's like, I look at it and it's like, okay, you're killing a kid at what, like at 8 months, right? Because that's what New Yorkers in New York, they want to have abortions all the way up until the point of pregnancy. And I can see, I can see through the sonographs that obviously there's a live baby there in the picture or in the videos that's kicking. I mean, what are these Democrats planning to do in New York? Are they going to pull a screaming baby out of a woman at 8 months, right? Throw it on the table, things screaming and kicking. What do they do? Are they going to hit it over the head with a shovel and kill it? I mean, if that's the case, I mean, is it any different than if they kill a baby at 10 months after it's born? I mean, I don't know. I mean, but this is an issue for New Yorkers to figure out. Okay, this is not an issue that I need to be thinking about. Okay, because like I said, it's kind of disturbing to me, and I don't. It's not an issue where I necessarily get in other people's face about it, get into the business about, but I'm looking at this mainly from the position of what does this decision do for gun rights, and that's what I'm bringing to you guys from that position. It is a way to get the Democrats out of purple states and into the blue states, and into the solid blue states, which is good because if we can get them all in just New York, California, Illinois, well, those states still only have 2 senators. Okay, so if we can get all the purple states to turn like a hard red pro gun rights, that's gonna strengthen our position. Okay, now the other side with this, right, is from the position of the pro-abortion people, right? That are like, I'm talking like the hardcore ones that like want to kill, babies on the day that's supposed to be born, right? Those people, right? From what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing, is that they are very disappointed with the Democrats, okay? And the Democrats really, really, really showed their hand, right? When they're out, like I heard like Nancy Pelosi and a bunch, they're out there fundraising on this. They're basically saying, send us money. So here's the thing. We, on the gun side, have known for years that Republicans are not really pro-gun rights, that they're using us, right? We've known this for many decades, right? We knew this from the beginning. We could see it developing. And most of us, like myself, are like, okay, fine, that's where they are, but still, how can I use them to get as much as possible, right? And it's been working because we did get some conservative justices on the Supreme Court, which did extend our gun rights or affirm our gun rights. And we're starting to pick up some momentum here, right? Because here's the thing: when you're winning, when you're winning, you start winning faster. When you're losing, you tend to lose faster. And for a long time, there was kind of like a stalemate where it wasn't going either way. But if we had started going the other way, where we were losing gun rights or losing in the Supreme Court, that would have started picking up a lot more speed that way, until they eventually like completely banned guns and started confiscating in the United States. Now that the momentum has started going the other way, it's more likely that we're going to start seeing, at some point, this New York case may go back to the Supreme Court, because in New York, they're trying to roadblock it. And at some point, all the roadblocks that they're putting are going to end up back in the Supreme Court. And if we still have the makeup of justices, what I think they're going to say is, hey, you guys have proven to us, right, that you can't understand what we're telling you, right, that it is a fundamental right. So therefore, you, the state, cannot be trusted. Henceforth, the law of the land is now constitutional carry. Nobody needs to get a permit in order to carry a gun. And I'm hoping it goes even further, where it says to further, because the problem right now is with the states is that you can only buy a gun in your state. So they can restrict you that way. What they need to do is throw out the law that says that you can only buy guns in your own state. Because then the people in New York can go to other states and buy their guns and bring them back home. And if it ends up in the courts basically have, will protect them, okay? So that's how, so that's what I'm saying about picking up momentum and winning. So where I was going with this, or I kind of totally went off track. We know on the gun rights side that Republicans are only in it for themselves, right? They're only in it to get more power, to basically keep their power. We understand that. We approach this from the perspective is, how are we going to use them while they're using us? Okay, but to the Democrats, this is like a totally new thing, okay? They're being like pretty much hit in the face with this, and they don't know how to handle it. You know, they're telling Pelosi and Schumer, they're telling them to go f off. That they failed. Okay, so they haven't developed they haven't had the benefit of developing strategies over decades to deal with the reality that politicians are not loyal to anybody other than themselves. Okay, so this is the second thing, the second benefit that we're getting at this. Number one, we have the benefit of getting the anti-gunners out of the purple states and throwing them into blue states, all right, which will hopefully get more conservative senators, in the Congress. That's the first benefit. Get the anti-gunners out of the purple states, and the second benefit is that it is tearing the Democrat leftist Socialist Party apart. Okay, and I'm in this video. I'm really only interested in the gun. I'm only my focus here is really the gun rights side of this. So I don't care if the Democrat Party breaks up into like 5 different pieces and they go in 5 separate directions. I don't care. I just don't want one solid anti-gun party, that's unified and working together. So that's the other benefit I see of this. This seems to be breaking up the anti-gunners into fractions that are fighting each other and fighting against their disloyal leaders. Okay, so I hope I just wanted to put this information out there. Look into it more yourselves. Keep your eyes out for this because this wasn't a gun rights decision, but this will benefit us through those 2 means. Get the anti-gunners out of the purple states and break up the Democrats and turn them against their own leadership. Thanks for watching. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Odyssey, which is uncensored over there. I'm Pocono Tactical. On Rumble, I'm Pocono Guns. On YouTube, I got Absolute Gun Rights, Pocono Shooting, and the original Safa channel, which goes back to 2006.